In this demo session, so we are going to understand about the basics of warehouse, because Informatica Power Center is a data warehousing tool. So I think you know that it's a data warehouse tool we have. Since it is abundantly useful for in the warehouse projects, in the data warehouse projects, for the first 5 classes, we are going to understand about all the data warehousing concepts in detail as a fundamental topic. Okay, so in this demo session, we are going to understand about what is a data warehouse, what is the OLTP and the OLAP system, why data warehouse is used, what is the role of Informatica Power Center, what are the ETL tools and what are the BA tools, and what are all we are going to learn during this Informatica Power Center course. We are going to understand them in the current session. So let's continue with the first session. So basically, so before understanding what is a data warehouse, and we'll try to understand about what is the OLTP system and what is an OLAP system. What is an OLTP system and the OLAP systems. Okay. So for any organization or any company, basically data plays a major role. Data plays a major role. So how do you get the data? Let's say you have a company. Let's say you have a company called SBI Bank. You have a SBI banking system. So this SBI Bank basically you have whenever you go for any banking system, previously what you have to do is that when you want to deposit some amount in your system, you just go into the bank, you write some receipt saying that this is the account number, this is the amount that you have. Yes, account number, amount, you need the signature, date, and all you have to write it. So whenever you give this voucher or the receipt of this deposit receipt to the banking agent or the banking clerk over there, so he's going to enter these details through the front end application. So you have a front end application here where you are going to enter the details of your receipt or details of your account, so that from the front end application the details are entered, and those details is, let's say it's this is the account number and you wanted to deposit 10k, and it's and right. Okay, so when you give this one, so the bank agent yes, or the banking clerk is going to enter the details through the front end application, So basically when you say front end application, it's like you have a certain programming languages like Java or .NET or it could be like D2K forms, or it could be like PHP. So these front-end application can be designed with any of the programming languages that you see. But these front-end applications are not capable of storing the data. So in order to store the data, in order to have the future reference, yes, in order to have the future reference, or in order to perform the business analysis, we need to store the data at some place. So that some place is nothing but what we call it as a database. So database is nothing but it's a collection of data. It's a container where you can store the data in the form of tables. It's a software package where you can store the data in the form of tables. Right. So within the database we have multiple within the RDBMS we can store multiple tables we can create where you can store the data. So in order to interact with this database, we need a common language called as a SQL language. We have a common language called as a SQL language. So this SQL language is nothing but structured query language, which we use to insert the data. Yes, we create the table, we update the information over there, we delete the information. Yes, we delete the information. We commit the transactions. We roll back the transactions. So all these commands we use within the SQL within the SQL language in order to do with that. Right. So we have multiple databases within the market. Like we have Oracle, which is from Oracle Corporation, Sybase, which is from SAP, Teradata, which is very popular from Teradata Corporation. We have DB2 from IBM, SQL Server from Microsoft. So likewise, we have all these different databases that we have within the real-time market. But in order to communicate with any of this database so that we have, we need the SQL language to communicate with that. Okay, so if you want to read the data or if you want to load the data into the database, we need the SQL language. Okay, so when we talk about the OLTP system, so on the day-to-day basis, so we come across different types of applications which we regularly use for our daily operation. Those applications are called as a OLTP application. So when I say OLTP application, it's like a online transactional processing system. Online transactional processing systems. So these systems we come across in our day-to-day lives. So when you go for any IRCTC, I mean any railway application, yes. When you go for any airline application, any e-commerce application, like if you go for Flipkart, if you go for Amazon, eBay, right? So all these are different OLTP applications that you have where you work in the real time, right? So whenever a customer will book a product, it's nothing but he's performing a transaction. So within the system we have a lot of transactions. So whenever you book a ticket in the OLTP system, or whenever you book a product within the OLTP system, you are nothing but you are performing the transaction. So similarly, if you go for any ATM withdrawal center, when you debit the amount or when you credit the amount, you basically do the transaction over there. So transaction is nothing but it's a set of DML operation. It is a set of DML operations that you perform. So when you say a set of DML operation, you either insert the data, you either update the data, or you delete the data from the system. So you perform abundant transactions within the OLTP system in order to work with that. So these OLTP systems are basically continuously available. These are continuously available, and you have predefined access paths that. Okay, you have predefined access path, and it supports the day-to-day transactions. And it supports a large number of users and high volumes of transactions are stored. Transactions are stored here. And so it contains basically the current data. So when I say current data, only the at present data will be present within the OLTP system. Right? So since because of these characteristics, these OLTP systems are highly useful for highly used as a backbone. So we say this as a backbone of any enterprise because it is useful for carrying out all the business transactions of the organization. Right. So let's say when you talk about this OLTP system, let's consider we have different OLTP systems within the SBA branch. So we have a OLTP system. 3 OLTP systems are there. So we are carrying out all the operations, all the core banking transactions. So let's like crediting the amount or debiting the amount. So we call them as core banking operation. So let's say these core banking operations are done on SAP, and we have the credit card system is there. And this credit card system, let's say we have all the transactions stored in the Oracle system, and you have insurance transactions. All the insurance transaction, let's say it is present in the mainframe system. So what we do is that as a users of the SBI banking system, so we perform all these transactions, different kinds of transactions within different systems. So these are all the OLTP systems that we have within the SBA branch. So what I wanted to SBA banking system. So what I wanted to do is that I wanted to analyze how the business is running. So if I have to analyze how the business is running, so first of all, what is the available system that we have? We have the available system is the OLTP system. So what I do, I'll try to analyze how the business is running using the OLTP system. So since I have some limitations for performing the business analysis on the OLTP system, because so the data that is stored here is the current data, and the data is not integrated here. Because the data is not integrated, I cannot perform the business analysis, as the data is not simulated, and the information that is present here is not able to provide me the analysis like the OLTP systems. Basically it contain the current data. So if I have to compare my business, if I want to analyze my business, I have to compare with the different time periods, which I am not able to do here, and I don't have the integrated data here. So because of this limitation that I have with the OLTP system, what I do is that I'll try to create a centralized copy of the system where I can analyze the business. So even though you can see here the data is present in different technologies here. One is present in SAP, another one is Oracle, and you have mainframes here. So when the data is present in multiple technologies, so there is no reporting tool till now present in the market which can fetch the data from multiple technologies and present the data in the form of report, right? So due to these limitations, what I do is that I'll prepare a centralized copy. I'll prepare a centralized storage system, so that I'll extract the information from all the OLTP system. Okay, I'll extract the information, or I'll extract the operational data from all the OLTP system, which is called as a data extraction. I'll transform the data into a homogeneous format, which is called as a data transformation, and I'll load the data into a centralized storage area using the process called as a data loading. So this centralized storage area is what you call it as a data warehouse. So warehouse, as the name depicts, it's nothing but you are storing the data here. So this warehouse is something that is built on any of the RDVMS that we have it in the market. Okay, so when I say RDVMS, whenever you walk into any project within the real time, your data warehouse could be on any of these databases. It could be on Teradata, it could be on Oracle, it could be on SQL Server, it could be on Sybase, or it could be on DB2. So always the data warehouse remains, so it will be built only on the relational database management system. It will be built only on the databases. Right? So as I told you, data warehouse is not a functionality, it is not a technology. A data warehouse is it's a concept. We can say it's a concept or the process that is built in order to perform the business analysis. It's a concept, or it is it's a concept, or it's a process that is built on the database in order to perform the business analysis. So the data that is present in the multiple OLTP systems, is extracted, transformed into a homogeneous format, and loaded into the place which we call it as a data warehouse. So this data warehouse is again a database which is built on any RDBMS for the purpose of performing the business analysis. So here at the end of the system, at the end of the day, every time we are going to insert the transactions. So, and we do not perform any deletions. So we maintain the data over a period of time, so that here we call it as a historical data. And upon the data within the data warehouse, it is useful for taking the decisions. So it is called as a decision making system. Decision making or the decision supporting system we have, and it contains the historical data, and this is useful for analyzing the business operation. So this system is called as OLAP system. OLAP system. So when I say OLAP system, it's nothing but online analytical processing system. So these terms, terminologies like data warehouse or OLAP, basically they are used interchangeably. They are used interchangeably. We can call it in any way. We can call it as OLAP database, or we can call it as data warehouse. So this concept of data warehouse, basically it is defined by two authors. Okay, one is Rolf Kimball, and the other one is Bill Himmel. So according to Rolf Kimball, he said that a data warehouse is a relational database management system which is specifically designed for business analysis in order to achieve business goals. Right? And you have something called as you have another author called as Bill Himmel. So he said that in order to this so a data warehouse is a subject-oriented, time-oriented, non-volatile, and is a non-volatile collection of data and integrated collection of data that supports the business analysis for the management decision making. Okay. So these are the two authors who has given their own approach of defining the data warehouse. So these two have a different way of understanding the data warehouse, and they have given different approaches for creating the data warehouse. Right. So once the data is entered into the data warehouse, so we have a separate layer called as a reporting layer, or we call it as a business intelligence layer. So we have a separate layer called as a reporting layer or the business intelligence layer. So we have some set of BA tools up there, business intelligence tools. So these tools, what happens is that these tools will query the data from the data warehouse. These tools will query the data from the data warehouse or the OLAP database, and they present the data in the form of reports. So within the reports, we have different types of presenting the data. So we can present the data within the pie chart. We can present the data within this bar graph, or we can present the data in the tabular format. Right. So likewise we can present the data. So once the data is presented in the form of reports, so these reports will be sent to the business users for the purpose of business analysis. Right. So why do we have this layer is because the business users, let's say you have created the data warehouse, but the business users are not the technical persons. They are not the technical people to analyze the data directly by querying the data from data warehouse here. So because of that reason, we have some reporting tools here which are useful for, I mean, they are very interactive in format, which are useful for creating the reports in a very understandable format. We can understand the business, and these reports will be analyzed by the business users of the company in order to understand how the business is running. So once the data warehouse is ready, so we can understand how the business is running. So whether we are getting the profit or loss, what days basically it's getting good revenue, what is the best, who are the best customers we have. So all this kind of statistical analysis or the statistical decisions I can perform by looking up the data within the warehouse system. Okay, so these BA tools will help us to perform the business analysis by querying the data from the data warehouse. So when we talk about the BA, it's business reports. So how do you create this business reports? So we have certain BA tools are there. By using the BA tools, the BI developer. So we have a BA developer who is responsible for creating the report. So they use different tools like SAP BO, Business Objects, which is from SAP, Cognos, which is from IBM, so MicroStrategy. We have Hyperion, we have SSRS. So these are all the different BA tools which will query the data from the data warehouse, and they present the data within the report. And this process of performing the ETL, so data extraction, data transformation, and data loading, will be, this process is called as a ETL process. ETL process. So this ETL process can be designed by using the ETL tools. So when I say ETL tools, we have multiple ETL tools within the market, like Informatica Power Center is the ETL tool. We have DataStage. So Informatica Power Center is from Informatica Corporation. DataStage is from IBM. So we have SSIS, which is from Microsoft. We have Ab Initio. Likewise, we have Oracle Data Integrator. We can perform using PLSQL also. Means we have basically two kinds of ETL tools are there. One is code-based ETL, another one is GUI-based ETL. So all these are basically GUI-based ETL tools we have, and we have some code-based ETLs also where you can perform by using the PLSQL, or you can use even the Teradata functionalities also. Using that also we can perform the ETL process. So using these tools as a ETL developer, so you are the ETL developer, your role is the ETL developer within the project. So using this tool, you will perform you will create the ETL process. You will design the ETL process in order to extract the data from the tables of the OLTP system, or it could be a table, or it could be a file, it could be a SAP system, or it could be a mainframe system. You will extract the data from that. You will transform the data within the ETL tool memory, and you load the data into the tables of the data warehouse. Right. So these are all the different ETL tools that we have, out of which our intention is to learn Informatica Power Center, how it is working, and what are the different options that we have within the Power Center. We are trying to understand within the course structure, right? So this is these are the different transactional systems that we have. So we are going to create the ETL process as a ETL developers to load the data into the data mart. So this data warehouse. So this data warehouse will help us to perform the reporting by using the reporting tools. So we have multiple Informatica products are present, like Informatica Cloud, Informatica Data Quality, Complex Event Management, Master Data Management, B2B data integration, application ALM. So these are all the different products that are released by Informatica Corporation. So Informatica Corporation is the company or the organization that we have, which has released major concepts or the major products which are playing a key role within the data warehousing environment. In that, we have Informatica Power Center is a leading ETL tool that we have within the current global market. Okay, so these are all the different products that we have it. So Why do we have to use the Informatica Power Center when we have multiple ETL tools are there? So basically, Informatica Power Center is the long-lasting ETL tool that we have. It's a robust ETL tool, and it's a platform independent. We can use it on any of the platforms, whether it is Unix based or the Windows based. We can use it. So it's a high performer, and it's a proven technology leader, and we have a continuous innovation with that. So and long history of the customer success. So basically, Informatica Power Center, why it is so popular is that it's basically used in two kinds of projects. One is a data warehousing projects, and another one is a data integration projects. So when I say data integration projects, it's like moving the data from one system to another system is called as a data migration. Yes, so we can using the Informatica Power Center, we can perform the data migration, and so this concept of data warehouse is something where Informatica is also used. Means we use the Informatica Power Center to perform the ETL process for the purpose of business analysis, to build the data warehouse for the purpose of business analysis. So these two projects, Informatica Power Center is abundantly used, and you have a continuous innovation with that. Means whatever technology that we have in the market, so Informatica Power Center will have a connection adapter to that. Means you just have to give the connection details of your of the source system that you have. You can start reading the data. In the same way, you can even load the data into any of the target system. It could be SAP, it could be XML, it could be any flat file, it could be any big data, Facebook. You can extract the data from any system. In the same way, you can load the data into any system. Okay, so that's the reason it is used in two kinds of projects. One is a data warehousing project, another one is a data migration project. And when we talk about the prerequisite of learning Informatica Power Center, so you need a good knowledge on SQL commands, okay, and you need a good knowledge of PL SQL, and good knowledge on Unix commands and the Unix scripting is needed. So as a part of the training along with the Power Center, we are going to give you a heads up on how the Unix commands and the Unix scripting is used. Okay, so since for the first 3 to 4 days we are going to understand only about the data warehousing concept, I want you to learn or brush up your knowledge in the SQL and the pre-SQL commands. Okay, and so basically the course is divided into 3 modules. So one is a data warehousing module, and the data Informatica developer as well as the Informatica admin concepts are present. So 3 modules are divided here. So one is a data warehousing concept which will be covered for the first 4 to 5 days. So as a part of this data warehousing concept, we are going to understand about OLTP system, what is the OLAP system, what are the advantages, what are the different author views, different architectures that we have, what are the different data modes, different types of tables, tools, OLAP tools, what is the data modeling, what are the tables present in the data warehouse, types of tables, whether it is a dimension table or a fact table, and what are the different schemas that are present. So this is a data warehousing concept that will be covered for the first 5 days. And next one is the Informatica Power Center admin related information. So it's like the architecture of the Power Center, installation of the configuration, creation of the services, creation of the users, roles, groups, Informatica admin console, yes, command line utilities, yes, migration, backup and recovery, and you have a client tool called as a repository manager client tool. So all these things will be covered as a Power Center admin related functionalities, and you have a Power Center developer functionality. So this developer functionality includes both basic and advanced features. So all these things will be covered as a part of developer also. So not everything is prescribed here. You can follow the course content. So within the course content, we have all the things that are covered within the Power Center training will be. You can see them. So you can see them within the course content. Okay, and so basically the training time is like so we have 25 classes. Basically 25 sessions. 25 sessions. We have them. We have the classes. And so daily it's 1 hour to 1 hour 15 minutes you will have a class, and it's like Friday, from Monday EST to Friday EST we have the classes, and as a part of the training, the big classes is going to provide you the VMware software. Within the VMware software, you have both the client and the server is present. Informatica client and server is present, and you have Informatica 9.5.1, which is the latest version, and you have the Oracle with the Oracle 10G software, and under the Windows environment, you will have the VMware machine will be provided with you. So these VMware software will be created by the big classes folks. They are going to install with the software. So you need not worry about the software licensing at all and the installation. And as a part of the training, we are going to provide you all these materials. So we are going to understand the Power Center using the sales case study. Yes, so using the sales case study, we will understand it. And so these are all the different materials that will be provided as a part of the training. So data warehousing material, SQL material, Unix material, daily assignments, notes, technical questions, interview questions, and the resume preparation, and even most importantly, after class time support. So I'm going to provide my email ID and phone number with you. So if you have any questions, you can just send me a WhatsApp message, or you can send an email to me. So I'm going to respond in that accordingly. Okay. So this is about the demonstration.